Tyquan Thornton at 0.3%. I'm still a GPP bro.
I suffer from a debilitating condition known as atropic shockitis.
Peter's one of the greatest depositors I've ever seen.
Trust the process. Let's go. Let's go.
I got auto matched with Levitan. This is bullshit.
If I just go the other way in that 66, I win all the money. All the money.
If I had 150 lineups, I'd win too.
Process over results.
Illuminati make a bitch go crazy. I don't know which one of these my baby. Bust down AP, close 5 bullets in your head like KD. Bust it, bitch go bust it. And I had 10 pints with me in Russia.
Hey everyone.
Oh, baby. Is it nice to do this show on a Monday morning when you're a big winner? That's right. All the haters said I had gone too far. Galaxy braining plays. Well, lo and behold, I 3.5x'd in the SPY. I turned $100 into $350. Finished in the top 2% of all lineups, dunking on the haters left and right. And for that, I think we deserve a hearty coffee pour here. Oh, yeah. Winning coffee pours just hit different. Just hit different. GMs. Bank. Yeah, I should call it a big. Some of you guys might not remember last year. I think I had a top 10 finish in the SPY and I put Bink on the thumbnail or in the title, and people were really upset about that. Coffee has been poured. Now I can hit the like. Yes, I realize it is a transactional thing with this. You all withhold the likes until the coffee is poured. So now you may unleash the likes. So it was, as I mentioned was it last week? Yeah. I said that I was going to do my duty for GPP Nation and throw in the ceiling optimal into the baby SPY, with the goal being that we would mush all the GPP bros. So this was the team I tossed in the ceiling SPY. I believe I also tossed it in the Deposit Kingdom tournament as well. Let me pull this up here. Where is she? All right, here she is. This was the ceiling optimal. The team was Josh Allen, Eno Benjamin, Ramondre Stevenson, Tyler Lockett, Rondell Moore, Chris Godwin, Mark Andrews, Kenneth Walker III, and the Saints. The undisputed hashtag best plays. And lo and behold, guys, I tried to mush us. And yet this thing snuck in for a min cash. If this doesn't perfectly encapsulate what playing the ceiling optimal is like, I don't know what is. 120 spots pay. We finished in 94th for just a classic 2x min cash. Took me 4 seconds to put this lineup in. Took me 4 seconds of thought on what I needed to do. Just ran the optimal, looked at the percentages. Easy game. Now, the issue here is that in trying to mush GPP bros, I ended up mushing myself, because the lineup that we'll look at here in the big SPY, I had the nuts early. Let's just go look at this. I had the nuts early in this lineup. Jamar Chase, Mark Andrews, Traquan Smith, and Tyquan Thornton. Just hit the stone cold nuts early. So what does it mean when you hit the nuts early? It means for once in my goddamn life, I can play the chalk late. It's normally just a cute exercise of like, oh, these are the plays I could theoretically play if my low-owned contrarian plays early don't hit. But that never happens. And then we pivot off of it to, the total dust balls at 1%. And yet yesterday was my day. Hit the nuts early. All right, let's let this Kyler, Marquise Brown, Eno Benjamin, Kenneth Walker game stack ride. We'll leave the Rams D here at 4,100. No one's paying up for the Rams D. This was going to be our day. But guess what, guys? This lineup, I ended up mushing myself. Eno Benjamin, 67%, 9.5 points. Fucking Cliff Kingsbury, man. Look at this shit. I even got this tweet ready to go. This is how much tilt I'm on right now with Cliff. Coming into this game, Seattle defense ranked 32nd in yards per game, 32nd in whatever YPP means, 32nd in rushing yards per game, 31st in points per game allowed, 31st in whatever TOP means, time of possession. Come on. 31st in first downs allowed, 26th in passing yards per game. Fucking Cliff Kingsbury. I mean, this should have been an eruption spot. Dare I say I was a 3v3 off of winning $100,000? Dare I say 100,000. But honestly, all jokes aside, I felt really good about this lineup. I felt really good about how I arrived there. So initially, this lineup did not have Jamar Chase and Traquan Smith. Initially, this had a Mike Evans, George Pickens, and then a different defense. I think I was down to like the Jags or the Colts in the like 3 to 3,100 range. And we were doing the cram yesterday morning, which I do every Sunday at 10:30 a.m. for YouTube members. And I was getting hot. Just dropped my fucking mouse. I was getting hot from all of the Tom Brady steam I was feeling. Everyone was on these Tom Brady doubles. And I said, I don't like this. I don't want to play a chalky Mike Evans mini, George Pickens being the logical bring back in that. And my thesis was, if both Jamar Chase and Mike Evans are going to come in at 20%, I would much rather play Jamar Chase, and I would much rather have the mini be with, a sub 5% Traquan Thornton than a more popular George Pickens. So we made that switch, obviously run pure on hitting the Chase outcome. But again, strictly from a process standpoint, Mike Evans does come in at 20.4% in this contest. So that was one thing we've talked about, right? In the Hand Builders and Opto Bros channel in the Discord on the show, of trying to catch some of that steam, where Mike Evans was projected. I had him at 9% average ownership. Did he come up? No, yeah, 8% heading into it. And the play at 8% looks incredible, but Mike Evans at 20%, if Jamar Chase is also at 20%, didn't look as good. I also wanted on the record, I did not play Jamar Chase because of the NOLA homecoming narrative. All right. Let's just get that out. I know some people fell head over heels. I played it strictly as a spreadsheet play. I didn't even know that was happening. I just looked at the numbers. The Traquan Thornton, we talked about him on the GPP cram. I highly recommend, obviously, becoming the YouTube member to get access to those crams, because lots of good thoughts in the chat. The chat was visibly angry when I started talking about Traquan Thornton, because apparently a bunch of us were on him. But that play at 0.3%, stone minimum, Nelson Aguilar out, leverage on the Ramondre Stevenson chalk, Jacoby Myers fairly popular, obviously gets there with the touchdowns. But we continue to see these rookies involved right off the rip. Wandale Robinson had really good usage yesterday, scores a touchdown. And most people just don't want to believe it until they get to see it. So getting out ahead of some of these rookie breakouts has been nice. And then, yeah, like I said, these four guys heading into the late games, I was like, I am going to let this ride. I'm going to let this ride with my Kyler, Kenneth Walker, Eno Benjamin, Marquise Brown. Doesn't fucking work out. Eno at 61% feels kind of bad. Feels bad. It does. Most projections have had him at 40. I guess when you factor in small field steam, maybe he gets up to 50. So the 60 doesn't feel great. Kyler Murray at 11, Marquise Brown at 15. I wonder how many people late swapped into Marquise Brown. That's another thing that sucks, because so many people are behind that then they're getting off of their Steph Diggs stuff. And so Marquise Brown gets a little steamed. I didn't even consider messing around with any other reconfiguring. Like this morning I was looking at, could I have done a Josh Allen, Steph Diggs thing and tried to get there? But it is what it is. Hit the nuts early, so I was going to let it ride with the chalk. Don't quite get there. 153rd. But it is what it is. It felt good to get back in the win column. Felt good to have a lineup that I liked. When I was rearranging my lineups in the morning, this, when I put the Jamar Chase, Traquan Smith mini in there with the Rams D, this was by far the highest projected lineup I had built. And I knew it was a good lineup because it wasn't that far off of this ceiling optimal one that I was benchmarking. 217 ceiling here, projected points. 209 projected cumulative ownership, and a product ownership like off the charts, 1,100 here. And so this one was only 12 points off of it from a ceiling perspective, and what? Almost 80, 90 cumulative points off, a 0.2 product ownership. So the second I saw this, I knew it was going to be my main team here. Always feel good about getting in that much ceiling while also getting to hack off a ton of ownership. Let me check in on the chat. Yes, MJ, from your lips to God's ears, this show's going to be so lit the day Pete ships 100K. It did feel like things were fairly close. I just wanted like a legit sweat, a top 10 sweat yesterday, and just could not quite get that. Butterfly giving testimonials for the 10:30 Sunday live stream was awesome. Yeah, yesterday was like a good day from a tout perspective too. We had some nice calls there, and I felt good just using all of us collectively as a Steam index, the things we're gravitating to. It did give, I think, really good indicators on where the GPP fields were going. Is J.K. Dobbins dead? I've heard some stuff that, the coach made an excuse for him, but some of the film grinders think he's running tentatively, and that he's not feeling fully back. And God, I hate to admit this, but Kenyon Drake looked good. I wanted to write that dude off as the dust ball of all dust balls. Like, he's gliding out there like peak DeMarco Murray. I'm like, holy shit. Let's see here. Tony says, are you leaning towards playing less correlated lineups, doing more heavy game stacks like this lineup? It all kind of depends on the slate. If I were behind in this lineup, I would have definitely blown up the Kyler thing. And we talk about this. I learned this from Leone too with late SWAT stuff, right? Where it's like, if you're behind, the correlation, helps you get less things right. And if you hit the one play that goes off in that game, it's worth it having the other play in that game who has a moderate outcome. But when you're chasing, you need ceiling outcomes from every spot. And because two wide receivers or a running back wide receiver from the same team are going to be negatively correlated on a play basis, it makes it harder for you to hit like the nut ceiling outcome when you're chasing. So it all depends on that. I think early and stuff, I definitely like doing the game stacks, but late, if you're behind, I think getting those one-offs and trying to land on the one guy who pops off from each spot is definitely the way to play it. It's also a little frustrating too, that this was another one of those days, right, where the chalk didn't hit in a massive way. And the scores across the board were pretty low. In previous weeks, we've seen 280, 290 point weeks. And, the tournament that took down, let's see what took down the SPY, the score here. Top score was 198. 198. This is an interesting lineup here. Joe Burrow to Jamar Chase. That was the skeleton key to yesterday, having that skinny stack, 4.8%. 8 the Kenneth Walker chalk. AJ Dillon, only 9 points, doesn't matter. Adam Thielen, very unique play at 2.3%. Brandon Ayuk was a sick play. I messed around with some Jeff Wilson Jr. and Kyle Pitts minis, which I'll show you in one of my other SPY lineups. Had messed around with an Ayuk. Pitts, of course, didn't end up on it, but that was a sick play. Tunyon ended up being a very nice play at tight end. And Michael Pittman, wow. 1.2%, 29 points. Very sick play there. Talk about an uncorrelated lineup, right? Well, I guess you have AJ Dillon and Tunyon. You have a one-off Kenneth Walker, a one-off Adam Thielen, a one-off Brandon Ayuk, and a one-off Michael Pittman Jr. Just hit the stone cold 8-leg parlay right there. Giants defense at 1.6%. This is one of those weeks that you just feel slipping through your hands as a GPP bro, because it was just avoiding the landmine shock. But this lineup does show too what I was feeling yesterday morning building, of it was really hard to fade all of those guys. Like, I think it was probably bad not to have at least one of Ramondre, Kenneth Walker, or Henderson, or if you want to toss Deion Jackson in there, which apparently we all should have. It was probably bad with that much value to not get at least one of those guys in. But again, just shows how easy it is to win when you sidestep that chalk on a day where the chalk disappoints. Was Taekwondo a play just because of the spot price or also because of Ramondre? I mean, all of those things. Those were all the things that I mentioned. 3K. So you got the stone minimum. We have a guy that, like, this isn't the Traquan Smith thesis either, even though I played him as well. Where you're just hoping he gets a touchdown, hoping he gets a couple targets. Like, Tyquan Thornton's a legit talented dude, has speed. And I mean, the other thing I mentioned too is, like, the Patriots desperately want to save face at wide receiver, right? These guys fucking miss at wide receiver every single draft. They are going to feed Tyquan Thornton. I mean, they took this guy ahead of George Pickens. They need an element in their offense. So I just like getting ahead of it. It was same of, last week trying to get ahead of the Breece Hall breakouts. Like, before these guys become, more expensive. Like, Tyquan Thornton's going to be a 5.5, 6K player by the end of the year. I feel pretty confident about that. So it's just being early. And then again, like, what if you miss at 3K? Like, who cares? Yeah. And Mike Evans, this one too, it was tough because he looked like an awesome play. Karain had gotten me hyped on him. He was the cover boy for Pat's walkthrough article, which I got to give a plug out to that article. Free article on NBC Sports Edge, aka Roto World. Pat does a phenomenal job with it. Hands down, the best matchups column in the space right now. And he had Mike Evans as his cover boy. Loved the spot, loved the matchup. But man, everyone was talking about him. Like, everyone was doing the leveling that we do, where it's like, all right, KC Buffalo's the best game. All right, I'll take a peek at this Arizona Seattle. Oh no, that's going to be super chalky. All right, here it is. Tom Brady doubles for all the money. And that just got steamed to outrageous levels there. Nick says, in hindsight, how do you feel about Deion Jackson? Process made me feel what I perceive was a bad player on a horrific offense against a good defense. Yeah, I whiffed on this one. You want to talk about, someone brought him up on the GPP cram yesterday, and I was like, that feels way too thin. I had no idea he was going to fucking catch 8 balls. I mean, they turned him into Christian McCaffrey. But yeah, that huge whiff. I didn't even give him a long look. I definitely had Benjamin blinders on. But yeah. And I think too, like, one of the other things that was crazy about the Colts, and Pat Thorman had a tweet about this. I think I pulled this up on Tilt Space last night, but I'll pull it up here too. Of, like, the Colts were just a bizarro version of what we'd seen from them. I mean, look at this here from the Colts. They went no huddle on 47% of their plays, third highest no huddle rate of any game this season. They produced the fastest snaps pace by far, set a season high for offensive snaps, and scored the most points by 2 touchdowns. So, I mean, it's a tough projection, right? Of, like, they're going to play fast. They're going to get in a shootout. Matt Ryan is going to turn back the clock. They're going to use Deion Jackson like Christian fucking McCaffrey. I mean, I'm not going to beat myself up too much on that one. But yeah, congratulations to anyone who got on Deion Jackson. I need more coffee. What do we got in the chat? Well, yeah, and this is the crazy thing too. There's weeks where I have a feeling a bunch of us are on Deion Jackson, right? Like, take for instance the week where it's like Leonard Fournette chalk, David Montgomery chalk, Josh Jacobs chalk, and you're kind of like squinting for value in 5K. And Deion probably looks like, what was it, week 4 Rashad Penny, where he's the guy around 5K that has like a solid points per dollar projection. We probably all fucking steam the shit out of Deion Jackson on a week like that. But when you had Kenneth Walker, Henderson, and Eno, he was going to fly under the radar. And I had thought this similarly about Darrell Henderson, just because, again, talk about the sentiment index. Like, no one wanted to play Henderson, and rightfully so. I mean, that offensive line, their entire running game has been completely inept this year. So it made sense that he would be, 4th in the, chalk punt RB power rankings. And yet, is he failing at a clip, 40% less than Eno Benjamin, if you're factoring in the gap in their ownership? Probably not. So yeah, giving a longer look to these guys, Deion and Hendo, who projected for similar roles at far less ownership, I definitely think was a leak on my part and perhaps our collective part yesterday. What are we tilting? We're tilting JaMychal Hasty touchdowns. Yeah. Jay says, do you think Thornton goes off if Bourne didn't get injured? I mean, they were using him in both the pass game and rushing game. He had multiple rush attempts. They were looking for him and scheming him up red zone targets. Yeah. So, I mean, I'm sure the Bourne thing helped like a smidge, but I mean, they clearly want to get this guy involved. Let's look at some other, let's look at a dust ball lineup I built. So this was a lineup. I can show you what I started with, and then I can show you what I swapped to. So this was my other spy team here. So here's the Kyle Pitts, Jeff Wilson Jr. mini, which God, it should have been a Brandon Ayuk mini. And then I really like this team. We actually ended up using this for one of our tilt space lineups as well. Josh Allen to Steph Diggs, the alpha stack. I mean, this lineup was the nuts late. But we had too many duds early that we had to pivot off of it. So you have Pitts going, who does whatever. He scores. Congratulations to all of us. Jeff Wilson flops. Devin Duvernay flops. I really liked, this is something I've picked up from JM to win and thinking very meaningfully about like the levers you're pulling when you make a play. So in this lineup with a Buffalo KC game, you are not playing Travis Kelce, and so you're getting leverage via that through Juju Smith-Schuster. You're not playing Mark Andrews, so you're getting leverage through that through Devin Duvernay. And then you're going down to Kyle Pitts, who hopefully, theoretically, or at least what we tell ourselves, has a ceiling to compete with those guys. So I really liked how this lineup came together, and then obviously knew if things didn't work out early that you could make the late swaps. And so the Jaguars defense fucking gets negative points here, -1, and end up doing a full pivot off of the Allen Diggs stuff and end up doing Mahomes to Schuster and pivoting back to Kelce, knowing that he was going to be fairly held in check just because of Mark Andrews' ownership, and then did Singletary and McKenzie as the bring back. So I feel good about, I mean, obviously this late swap from a points perspective flops, but I mean, when Jeff Wilson has 1.5, Jags have -1, like I just don't see how you can eat the Allen and Diggs chalk there. So getting Mahomes at 4.4, Kelce 11.8, Singletary 7.1, and McKenzie 8.1. Like that felt like a solid way to attack that game without eating a lot of chalk. So process-wise, don't feel bad about that one. Just sucks that Jeff Wilson, if Jeff Wilson and Jags D are even moderately successful in that game, maybe we can let that ride with the Josh Allen Diggs Juju, which ends up being a massive, massive point swing there. Isaiah McKenzie ended up being a trap, obviously, but not a bad percentage there. Drew played T. Higgins. Do I have shit for brains? No, I mean, that one's so tough too, because it's kind of like the rookie thing, right? Where you're getting such a massive discount because of the Q tag and people just don't want to play him. Sometimes I feel like I probably made an emotional decision of like, I just don't want to touch T. Higgins because I had gotten so burned last week in a ton of spots, including season long, where I was so tilted from the reporting on his injury, where he practiced in full all week and then was clearly limited. And they said, had him on a pitch count. Zach Taylor comes in after the game and says that. And it's like, fuck you guys. So, he hobbles his way through practices this week. I think he missed Wednesday, Thursday, limited Friday. So it's just like, I didn't want to touch it. It clearly seemed like he was going to be limited. And of course, he also didn't play with Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow at the Superdome. So how is he going to ever compete with that homecoming narrative? Show us the Frito-Lay's lineup. Let me go look here. I think that the Swolecast heater came to an end. I think we had Duvernay in that lineup. I saw my guy Willis, though. Willis finished. Willis, I think, what were you? I don't know if is Willis in the chat this morning? He was like top 100 in the Frito-Lays. He turned $0 into 5, a 5X. If Willis had a YouTube channel, he could have titled the video 5X in the Frito-Lay's Snacks and Snacks series. Suck it, haters. He could have said that. Here's our Frito-Lay's. Okay, yeah, so we had the Lamar, Barkley, Ramondre. Oof. Snowflakes, MVS, Rondell Moore, Duvernay, Andrews, Kenneth Walker, Panthers D. 129.6. Not a bad showing for your boys, but the heater's over. And this Frito-Lay Snaps and Snacks series is officially over. I was told it was only 6 weeks right here. See this, guys? Series to compete in 6 free fantasy football contests. What shitty chips company is going to fill this free roll void in our lives? That's the question many are asking. I hate that my best lineup was in the Frito-Lay free roll. Willis, that is what we do around here. For fucking 3 weeks in a row, my best lineup was in the Frito-Lay's free roll. 59th to our king, Willis. I mean, Willis had himself a day. 59th in the Frito-Lay's Snaps and Snacks series, and Zeke Elliott scores a touchdown. Congratulations to Willis. And it was his daughter's birthday yesterday. I mean, have yourself a day, Willis. Yeah, I actually looked where you would have finished in the SPY too, Willis, but I won't tell you that. Oh, God. Speaking of the Deposit Kingdom tournament, we need to have a talk, guys. We need to have a talk. 417 entries out of 425. Later today, I'm going to have to send an email to my DraftKings rep, who's not actually my rep. It's just some poor individual's email that I found and tracked down. I'm going to have to send him an email and say, can we do the week 7 Deposit Kingdom tourney? And he's going to be like, great, sure. Let me check the chain. Let me see how things went. And then he's going to go, oh, interesting. We had overlay in your community contest. And I'm going to like not be able to make eye contact, even though it's over email. I'm going to say, I know, man. I got a little overzealous last week. I said, let's bump it up from 400 to 425. And the community dropped the ball. And he's going to say, shouldn't you take some ownership of that? And I'm going to still struggle to make eye contact, even though it's over email. I'm going to say, yeah, part of that's on me. Between you and me, I'm a little stubborn about promoting externally. Could I have put it on Twitter earlier and had it filled? Yes, but it's kind of just like a principle thing. I want it to feel, special and unique for the Discord community. So I just posted in there. And then he's going to have like a deep sigh and he's going to say, well, DraftKings stock isn't doing too well. We can't just be hemorrhaging tens and tens of dollars in overlay to this contest. I think we might have to cancel the tournament. And I'm going to go, no. Give us one more shot. Give us one more shot. Where else are we going to be able to play Tyquan Thornton into 15% ownership? And he's going to say, I'll give you one more chance. And at this point, I think I'll finally be able to make eye contact with him and I'll kind of tilt my head up and I'll go, you'd really do that for us? And he'll say, yeah, but I'm not making it 425. It's going to be 375 this week. And I'm going to say, that's fine. Deal. Done. Shake on it, even though it's over email. And I'm going to say, sir, we won't fail you again. The community is going to get this done. We're going to fill this, not even by Sunday, but by Friday. And he's going to say, I have far more important things to do right now than continue this conversation, but we'll make it happen. That's the conversation I'm going to have later today, guys. I'm exhausted. I'm exhausted thinking about this conversation. I have to have. Man, if it weren't over email, we'd for sure make out. All right, let's see what Galaxy Brainers did well in the Deposit Kingdom Weekly League. I also should say I did toss in. I had 2 choices, right? I could toss in my main SPY lineup, the one that did well, or I could toss in the Ceiling Optimal. I wanted to toss in the Ceiling Optimal into this Deposit Kingdom one just to see what percentages I got on the Mega Chalk, and we were actually pretty in line. We talk about this tournament being a Galaxy Brainers playground, but these were fairly in line with the big SPY as far as ownership. Allen at 33, Eno 60, Ramondre 45, Lockett 27, Rondale Moore 17, Godwin 14.2, which is hilarious because Evans came in so much higher. Mark Andrews 21, Walker 20. So Deposit Kingdom Nation ate the chalk a bit yesterday. Let me just see what my lineup would have finished in this. So if I would have 167.58, if I wasn't doing the bit week, 167.58, I would have finished in 12th place. 12th place for $50. Instead, we do a classic min cash. But let's see who won. I believe someone tagged me in the Discord. Oh, yeah, it was DeMoney. Congratulations, DeMoney. 185.1 has that sick Joe Burrow to Jamar Chase. Bring it back with Kamara. Eats the Ramondre chalk. Justin Jefferson at 9.6%. Gets that Wan'Dale Robinson at 6.7. Zach Gentry at 16% in the Deposit Kingdom with no Tampa Bay pieces. But I guess if you're going to punt it off. And then the coup de grace, Deion Jackson, 4.3%, 28 points. Very nice. Congratulations there. Really nice play. 3 running backs going early. This entire lineup went early? Yeah. Completely faded everything late except this Panthers defensive spot. Nice team. Very nice team. If I play in the Deposit Kingdom tournament, I have to play Philip Lindsay and Patrick Laird every week, regardless if they start. That seems like an epic bit, Magnus. I'm going to have to start creating burner accounts to fill this tournament if you guys won't. When do we get an update on your BBM3 lineups? Buddy. With the cops, my phone lines are tapped. There's 2 men outside my house in a panel van just waiting for me to slip up. If I didn't know any better, Brent, I would think you were an FBI operative. And this is entrapment. I'll look at my BBM3 lineups when it actually matters. In week 17, bitch. Sorry, that was aggressive. How did people play Joe Burrow yesterday? No one was talking him up. I mean, it's not a huge logical leap, right? Like if you're playing Jamar Chase and you're trying to get the Jamar Chase ceiling game, right? This is the game you want from Jamar Chase, right? 2 receiving touchdowns, you get the bonus, 132 yards, 7 receptions. If he hits that, Joe Burrow is going to have a very nice day. So I don't think it was that crazy. You're playing in a dome. There were decent bringbacks as far as Kamara and Traquan Smith. I think the one thing I wouldn't have probably done, if I did a Burrow, I probably would have tossed in Tyler Boyd or Hayden Hurst. I think I would have had a hard time not double stacking him. But that single alpha stack, Joe Burrow to Chase, Allen to Diggs, that was the nuts yesterday. How did you do in UD contests? I had one nice team. Shout out to Andy from Club Top Shot, Andy 8052. He had a sick sweat in why can I never find these? Why can I never find where? Here we go. Battle Royale. So yeah, I had one team finish. I had one team that 20x'd here. 30, or I only had 6 entries. I didn't have as much time to blast off in Battle Royale this week. This team did nice though. Joe Burrow to Jamar Chase, Stephon Diggs. Oh, God, seeing fucking Marquise Brown in one of these lineups again. Kenneth Walker and Mark Andrews. Let's see. Andy here finished in 5th. Had Christian McCaffrey. Just needed a little bit more from Christian McCaffrey there for Andy to be in the conversation. Archie takes it down. Burrow, Ramondre, man, Deion Jackson. What a sick play in a contest where only 36 players are drafted. Just a totally sick play. Jamar Chase, Tyreek Hill, Mark Andrews. Yeah. We'll have to ask him about this on maybe Club Top Shot tomorrow is just going to be us ripping Battle Royale drafts. Oh no. Oh no. Did I accidentally see my best ball winnings? Oh no. Oh no. I knew I was going to get entrapped. I can't believe I fell for this. The oldest trick in the book. Pete, let's go see your Battle Royale winnings. Next thing you know, I misclick and the cops are here. The cops are here. You guys got me. You got me. Should we change the title? Change the title, 20x in the Royale. Suck it, haters. Suck it. I'm convinced that winning players trip acid. You guys saw the lineup that I posted on Twitter, right? The team that played Teddy Bridgewater. I'll pull that up if you guys missed this. This thing was so sick. This guy definitely did acid, because here's the thing. You look at this lineup. So for the audio listeners, and I'm always willing to toss a bone to the audio listeners, you can always subscribe to these episodes on In a Vacuum podcast feed. Teddy Bridgewater, Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle. And so you say, all right, he had Teddy Bridgewater in there. Maybe thought Teddy Bridgewater was going to play early in the week. This is a dummy lineup, right? Built this on Wednesday, forgot to update it. No. This lineup also has Deion Jackson in it. We did not get the Jonathan Taylor and Nyheim Hines ruled out news until much later in the week. So someone tell me when this lineup was made. I want to know when this lineup was made. It also has Tevin Coleman in it. That makes me think maybe it was earlier in the week, because Tevin Coleman was coming off a good game. Like, who has Tevin Coleman front of mind on a Friday? You could have him front of mind on a Monday. This lineup is incredible. There's so many fun Easter eggs here. Of course, you didn't have Brandon Ayuk at wide receiver and MVS in the flex. No. There was no way that was ever happening. No Minnesota bring back. I mean, this is incredible. This guy dropped acid. I would watch a 30 for 30 documentary on this. Bill Simmons, make a documentary about this lineup. Do you know what we're deprived of? I wish Bill Simmons would get into DFS. I feel like that would be fun for all of us. You hear the way he talks about sports betting? Like Bob goes on his show and is having to explain to him how single game parlays work. Can you imagine if Bill Simmons got into DFS? Bill Simmons would definitely play the best plays. No. Simmons would be like Kitchen, but instead of Titans, it would be Patriots. So it'd be like the chalkiest of all chalk lineups, and then like Bailey Zappi to Tyquan Thornton. And then he would have won yesterday. Send me a head-to-head, Bill. Some of you kids aren't even old enough to remember Bill Simmons. Did we get 3 coffee pours this morning? I feel like that's worth an extra like. 3 coffee pours for your buck today. All right. Let's see. So this was the final tally. Here's my dust ball spreadsheet. I mean, it honestly is sick. Like, obviously I'm in a better mood this morning because I didn't get my fucking teeth kicked in, but it's so sick anytime you can't get a true top 10 sweat in these tournaments with how top heavy shit is. I mean, you can see here my finish percentage in the top 3%, and it's a 3.5x. It's just so sick. It's so sick. The other lineup, this very barbelled here, 85th percentile on that one, 2.8%. And then 17%, of course, with the ceiling optimal. Should I continue this bit? Should I continue to toss the ceiling optimal into the baby spy? The other thing that was so funny about that is I was duped. I was duped by A Raven in this one. Where am I? No, not this one. Show me. Where is this team? There we go. A Raven. Look at this trade. Like this is the future that the cash game grinders in the play the best plays. This is the future they want. Just 5 of us just jamming in the exact same lineup. I mean, this is so sad. Who wants to live like this? Disgusting. Easy, like, I don't even know what drum you're beating here, bud. I've tried to win $100,000. Are you going to go pound the table against people fucking playing the Millie Maker because they want to win $1 million? I want to win $100,000 on $100, bud. All of this is a rug. All of it is easy. Also, aren't you in fucking Barcelona right now, dude? For the love of God, get off of the stream and go look at the Sagrada Familia. There's a fucking Picasso museum there. Go see where the Olympics were. Go have some tapas. Go look at the naked street performers on Las Ramblas. Go get drunk and go to Razzmatazz. Go have a pint of beer at the Black Sheep. For the love of God, go look at some Gaudi. Jesus Christ, easy. Anyways, final, we are down. We have 1,400 in entries. We have 700 in winnings. So the real question is, can we get in the green? Because this isn't the extent of how down bad we are. We are down bad on our tilt space. As of right now, I owe Mike Leone a big fat check, a big fat Galaxy Brain check. Dear Michael Leone, here is multiple thousands of dollars. Memo, Galaxy Brain punt offs. James thinks my improv increases 10 times when he's profitable. It's true. It's true. I don't know. Some people like it when I eat shit, though, too. Some people like the shows where I'm just miserable. It's nice how, you know, it's when I'm really eating shit that I'll have Blender in the chat telling me I sacrificed too many projected points. Where's Blender to celebrate me this morning? Where are you, Blender? Come out of the woodwork. Pat old Pete on the back for his beautiful lineup in the Spy. Did I get 3.5 coffee boards? I do love the symbolism of that. Am I out here? Can we get a half? There it is. Look at that. Look at that fucking symmetry. 3.5 coffee pours, 3.5x. I did listen to Davis on the Guildcast. He was not going to do the show. He did not want to do the show, which I'm telling you, there are weeks where you do not want to do the show. We did fire up Tilt Space yesterday, by the way. I have the link down below. I'm also posting the audio of that on the In a Vacuum podcast feed. Let's check out a quick preview of the Showdown tonight. For those of you who are YouTube members in the Hand Builder and Opto Bros tier, every Showdown slate, I look at aggregated ownership across the industry from a few different sources, and then I compare that to the Run the Sims optimal rates. It's a really good tool for you hand builders out there looking to figure out which plays will offer the most leverage. So I recommend becoming a member and joining that fun channel. But I'll give you a little sneak peek here. I'll give you the cow, or I'll give you the milk so you don't have to buy the cow right now. These are our early look here. Ignore the ownerships in here, but captain rate, Austin Eckler and Cortland Sutton neck and neck for top optimal captain as of right now. Herbert not far behind. And Mike Williams actually third behind those guys. Melvin Gordon in there. Fucking dustball Russell Wilson at 7%. Jerry Jeudy 7.5%. So this could be a fun Showdown slate. Like last night, I think when I looked at it, Jalen Hurts was 30% optimal captain. Look at this. Most frequented lineup here is a Russell Wilson captain. I don't know if I can click Russell Wilson and captain tonight. Just a total dust ball. Who are Galaxy Brain plays tonight? Eric Sober. Don't correct me on that pronunciation. I never want to learn it. A lot of Mike Boone, a lot of kicker season, Brandon McManus. Trey McKitty. There we go. Now we're cooking with some Trey McKitty. Here's how you get unique. 14.9 product ownership. Herbert captain, Eckler, Joshua Palmer, Mike Williams, Trey McKitty. Bring it back with Mike Boone. Easy game. Giblets. Ship it. Dupe it. What is this? 4.5 point home favorites for the Chargers. I want to take the under. I want to donk it off with the under. I mean, the Broncos, why do I keep, this is the cops. Why do I keep getting calls here? The Broncos are like the Cardinals. They're just not a team that I have any faith in. I'm ready for Nathaniel Hackett to quit and go apple picking instead. I summoned Blender. Thank you, Jordan. Are you at Kroger's right now in the produce aisle? Picking up some Slim Jims? Yeah, Blender, why haven't I gotten invited back to host one of your what are they called? The Saturday night slappies, stupid questions. Your audience absolutely hated me pretending to be you. That was fun. Yes, I saw the Ship My Money versus Liam Twitter beef. Went a little too long for my tastes. Diminishing returns on that, but very enjoyable. I think we had already booked Liam for lulz this week, so maybe you can hear him air it out. But yeah, we deserve a DFS boxing match. We deserve it. All right, I'm getting out of here. Appreciate you guys. Be sure to continue to congratulate me on what a just absolutely sick day I had yesterday. Just completely seeing through the GPP matrix, running circles around the best plays, bros. I mean, just truly a masterclass in how to play single entry and 3 max GPPs from your boy yesterday. I'm going to go have that tough conversation with my DraftKings rep right now. All right. Hopefully we come out unscathed. Hopefully we come out with a nice rake-free tournament for week 7. We'll catch you guys in the Discord. We'll see you next time.